World number 1 Iga Swiatek and retired pro Sergei Stakhovsky have called out their fellow tennis players for ignoring and forgetting about the war in Ukraine. The French Open champion held an exhibition tournament in her home of Poland over the weekend to raise money for the war, and secured over £400,000 to help the efforts in Ukraine. Swiatek was one of the first players to show her support for Ukraine by donning a blue and yellow ribbon in her matches shortly after the war began, and she sent her support to the country after winning the French Open. Over the weekend the Pole held the Iga Swiatek and Friends event to raise money for the country, totaling £400,000 over the weekend. During the event, in which she was joined by Ukrainian stars like Alina Svitolina and Stakhovsky, the world number 1 admitted she thought some of her colleagues had been contradicting themselves by stopping their support for the country. Many players have taken off the Ukrainian armbands that they wore for a few matches in February, the two-time major champion said. The 21-year-old admitted she found it a bit contradictory, adding, "But above all I'm concentrating on what I can do to help." But retired former ATP world number 31 Stakhovsky was more brutal on his fellow players, sharing his disappointment at the lack of pros, especially from Russia, who were speaking out. Sponsored. Stakhovsky, who retired at the Australian Open this year and joined the Ukrainian army following Russia's invasion, said he met some Russian players in Paris during Roland Garros, and, without naming anyone, claimed, "Basically everyone just turned around, walked away or turned their heads away when they saw me. And I've known them all for a long time, I've followed their careers, to say the least I'm very disappointed with that." But the four-time title winner was quick to pile praise on Daria Kasatkina and Andrei Rublev, who both recently appeared in a YouTube video with Russian blogger Vitya Kravchenko and spoke about the war. The WTA world number 12 came out as gay and condemned the war while both players discussed changing citizenship to compete, and the Ukrainian thanked the ATP world number 8 for being perhaps one of the few players who publicly spoke out against the war, before adding, "I admire Daria very much. She is a heroine in her own way." And he claimed that if there were more Russians like Rublev and Kasatkina, this war would never have started.